Hi, welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to look at restock limits and storage limits within Amazon. So what are these different limits and how are they determined? Now, coming up to Q4, as we expect to get busier and busier, it's really important we know if there are any limits set on our account. So if you're new here, my name's Emma and I upload regular videos so I can share my journey as an Amazon FBA seller along with any information that I think you might find useful, especially if you are new to selling on Amazon. Now, when you first start out, it can be a bit of a minefield and it can feel like there is so much to learn. I would say use as much free information as you can, so watch videos like this and join as many communities as you can, especially Facebook groups. I'll pop a link to our Facebook group below. Please do feel free to jump in and ask any questions you may have. People are there to help you. So restock limits are set per storage type and these are based on your past sales and your forecasted sales. They just help determine how many units of inventory you can send into Amazon. So your storage limit is the total amount of inventory you can hold within Amazon's fulfillment centres. This helps Amazon manage that physical space used. So you can really easily check what those restock limits are by going to your Seller Central, clicking on Inventory and then Inventory Planning, followed by this Performance button just along the top here. You then want to be clicking along the bottom where it says Restock Limits. We have our standard size storage, our oversized storage, clothing storage, footwear storage and our extra large storage. And then within each of these sections we can see our utilisation quantity, our maximum inventory level and our maximum shipment quantity. Now at the minute I do have a very limited amount of stock within Amazon, but this will be really helpful over the coming months as Q4 approaches and I have lots more inventory to send in. Now we can also click on storage volume and this will show us our current usage and if we have a current storage limit. So storage limits are based on volume and this is measured in cubic feet for each individual storage type you have. Now there is criteria for those storage limits, so it's really important that we know what these are. Now if you have an individual selling account, your maximum storage limit is 10 cubic feet. There's nothing you can do to increase this as this is the maximum allowed for that type of account. Now if you have a professional selling account, you may not necessarily have storage limits. It does depend on a few different factors, including your account health. Now you need to make sure you maintain a good IIP score, so that's your Inventory Performance Index score, and this just measures how well you maintain that inventory. Now as it stands right now, you won't be subject to storage limits if that IPI score is above 400. Now this was previously 500, but this was reduced down back in January this year. So you can easily check what this is by going back to that performance dashboard and it shows quite obviously in the middle here. Now it is worth keeping an eye on this score as it can change weekly and it's influenced by a number of different things. So your inventory stock, your excess inventory, your sell-through rate and your stranded inventory. Now I have done a previous video on how to help increase that IPI score, so that may be worth a look at, but just keep that account as healthy as you possibly can and deal with any problems as soon as they become apparent. Now if you're a new seller or you don't yet have enough data to generate an IPI score, you don't need to worry, you will not be subject to storage limits. Amazon will allow you 2 full storage limit cycles and you can expect to get that first IPI score around 15 weeks after you send in your first product. Now if you do have storage limits in place, these are calculated using a number of different things. So Amazon will look at your sales volume, your historical IPI scores and the available fulfillment centre capacity. If you have consistently high IPI scores, it's likely you will have higher storage limits. Now Amazon work this out quarterly and they take into account your past sales as well. Try and be sure that every quarter you end above that IPI limit. Storage limit cannot be increased during that current quarter and you can't purchase any more either. Now if you are at your storage limit, Amazon's policy state you must not send in any more shipments for that storage type until the levels drop low enough to allow it. Now if you just go ahead anyway and send that stock in knowing you're over your stock limit, this may be refused at the fulfillment centre, so do not take the risk. Now if you do manage to overstock, Amazon will charge you for this, so you'll pay a storage overage fee and this is charged monthly at £7.80 per cubic foot. So if we do have limits in place, how can we get around these? So the simple answer here is to just sell more. You need to turn that stock around as fast as you possibly can. So when you're doing that sourcing, make sure you're only purchasing profitable items that sell really well. During Q4 especially, you cannot afford for stock to be sat on Amazon shelves. This is both taking up storage space and potentially costing you in long-term storage fees. Now if you have any aged stock that you just can't sell, you either need to drop that price down or you need to create a removal order and sell it elsewhere. So I'm currently using Profit Protector Pro and this is an algorithmic based repricing software. Now when I need to ship stock fast, I change my strategy to super aggressive. So this is going to fight aggressively to try and win me that buy box, get me that sales while staying above my minimum price. Now if I do this and I still can't compete and I just can't afford to drop my price any lower, this is the point where I would consider creating a removal order. This is just going to help ensure I'm not paying any unnecessary storage fees. So I hope that's just helped to explain the difference between the restock limits and the storage limits and how Amazon calculates them. Now you may find these change quite a lot coming up to Q4, so keep an eye on them and do your best to keep that IPI score above 400 as well. Now if you have any questions at all, please do let me know, pop them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But for now, thank you very much for watching, take care and I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye bye.